Hey guys, how's it going? So end of the last video, didn't get the blower, well, got the blower motor in but had to pull it back out. Said I wanted to add some mesh to it and I just got that done. And yeah, it's just that easy. Just cut the shape with tin snips, leave some tabs so you can kind of fold it around the edges. And then this edge wasn't really staying down, so because it wasn't a fold under, it's more flat, so I just tapped it with a screw right there. And yeah, that thing's on there. It's on there more than this foam that I keep trying to get to stick, mostly because it's sticking to mesh, but it's also cheap foam. But it's not going to do the most perfect job sealing because, you know, it is sealing to mesh, which is going to have air holes, but at least it'll insulate it from just this rattling against the body. So yeah, this should work perfect for this. I'm going to go ahead and get this in there so that this can be done and maybe start assembling the dash. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Especially since I did all this work to the dash over there. And it's just sitting in my garage. So, alright. So, we got the blower motor in. And yeah, it's dark, it's stormy. Winter wonderland right here. Anyways, ADHD moment. I'm blind. So, yeah, blower motor's in. You can't really see the mesh, a little bit. But that's up there. And I did relocate the blower motor relay to inside. Didn't make sense in the engine bay to me. So, I did put that in there. And yeah, everything fits pretty nice. Let's see if I can show you guys. Yeah, none of the wiring's pinched or anything, which is good. So, yeah, just gonna attach that like that to that intermediate piece. Make a bracket for the ECU, be held like that. The wiring's gonna go up and around. Should be mostly out of the way, as long as no Neanderthals get in my truck and start kicking the underside of the dash, because they'll just kick my fuse box. That'll be annoying. So, on that, I also finished up the wiring in here. It's no longer a mess. Let's see if I can shine a little bit more light on there for you. It's still a little bit of rat's nest just because all the connectors and stuff I had to do, and the extra wire for the alternator and whatnot. So, along with, you know, this is the original alternator plug, which I'm using for a power source. So, a little bit extra wires than normal, but it is cleaned up. I got all the wiring on this side done. I mean, the wiring on that side is mostly done, but still got to clean up over here. Mostly just, I'm waiting. I got to figure out, I'm hoping I'm right. One of the headlights didn't work and it was giving me wiring issues. It wasn't the light itself. I believe it was this side. Fingers crossed, because I don't want to pull that side back apart. But that's why I haven't cleaned up any of this yet, is I still have to do that. And to do that, I got to put the dash in, because I can't put the headlight switch on until the dash goes on, because I almost broke it pulling it out. So once I do that, then I can come back up here. But yeah, it's dark and stormy, so I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. And, well, I don't know. We'll see how I feel. I might get some sudden urge to throw the dash in. I might double check, because I think it can just go in at this point. I think everything else is ready. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see how I feel after a quick 15-minute break. You'll either see me tomorrow or later tonight. So, I did end up getting that motivation, and yeah, the dash is in. Oh, although my light doesn't want to work. There we go. I'm using sorry to blind you guys, I'm using a motion sensor light for the outside of my house. I just happen to have a bunch of these in a box because Amazon buy like 20 of these for like next to nothing. So these have been my work lights because I can't actually find any of my normal work lights. But regardless, the dash pad is actually on, and bolted down. So now it's just all the little stuff, but my headlamp is dead, and using this thing, it ends up blinding you more often than not, unfortunately. So I'm gonna call it for tonight, and I'll get back to you in the morning. Hey guys, so the next day, and done a few things on the truck. Start off with, wait for this to dry, but got my ECU bracket made. Just kind of welded the one side. Tried to fit both, but fortunately, the holes I had to work with, they were only a 1/4 inch wider. I'd be able to fit that plate, especially going around that screw. But there it is, just a couple little cut vacuum lines to insulate it from rattling, and added that bracket off that I cut out of my engine bay. Well, unbolted and then cut it down. But that's for the ECU relay to sit. Just sit under there like that. So I'm gonna go get this installed. All right, there it is. And even with just the one side, yeah, that's plenty sturdy. That's not going anywhere. So yeah, looks more legitimate than I thought it would, considering the piece of metal I used and how ugly that bracket was. But you don't even see it. And oddly enough, the side piece had this little tab on it, and that's perfect for like keeping the wires from getting pinched. So that's kind of a cool feature. So fits like perfectly right there against the blower motor. So that's neat. Other thing I did is finally wired up my license plate lights and fixed that tail light, and got that all done. Still need to add my trailer wiring lights, but I'm just waiting for to find my connectors for that, because I've got an intermediate plug connector that'll just plug right in, make that easy. So now I've got to make a few more. I've got to make the air filter bracket, and yeah, I've got other stuff to do, so I'm just going to get to it. I'll show you guys when it's done. Alright, so I got the inside kind of finalized as far as the wiring for the engine goes. So, yep, it's all nice and tucked up there. Fuse box is underneath. OBD2 port right there. Tuck the wires back behind this relay, and you know, it all, for the most part, sits below the glove box line. I mean, blower motor doesn't even sit below that, so it's at about the same height. So I think we're good there. Again, as long as nobody comes in kicking this stuff, we'll be a-okay. But it's pretty durable, so I think I'll be okay for the most part. Yeah, I gotta run my pod lights. Those guys, I gotta run my pod light wiring up through here, and I'm gonna probably just attach the relays to the side of this box. I've got three relays for those lights, so maybe I can squeeze them all right here. Maybe I'll throw another one over there. There's a bit of space. The backsplash only goes to about there, so I've got a good amount of room in here to work with. So yeah, the only reason I haven't thrown the glove box back in is just so I can wire those up, and I got a fuse spot already picked out for those lights. So yeah, and I have been driving it a little bit now that things are somewhat secured, and man, this thing rips. It the instant torque, I mean, it'd probably be better when it's dry, but the instant torque of this thing is just, in the wet, it just spins tires to third. Just early shifting, still will just spin the tires. Like you'll be going, you'll press the gas a little bit more, and it'll just start spinning the tires in the middle of a gear. So, like I said, dry be a little bit better. I definitely am going to be on the hunt for an LSD, because I was going to do like a locker for it, but honestly, even just driving down the road with an open diff is not ideal. So I think an LSD might work best for this truck, because it needs a full-time some sort of limited slip back there. And being into drifting, I would just weld the diff, but it is going to be basically my daily driver after this. And yeah, I don't want to be daily driving the truck on a welded diff. I've done it before, not in a truck, but in a car, and that's not too bad. But with 32s and leaf springs, I don't want this thing chirping around and stuff. But so yeah, I'll be looking for a Pathfinder LSD for this thing for sure. But now that I've got that done, I do have other stuff to do. Pod lights. I think I said before, I gotta start making that air filter bracket so I can clean up that headlight wiring and basically have the engine bay done. So I'm gonna get to it. All right, there's an air filter bracket, just that easy. So yeah, just not even a straight piece. I don't know if you could tell, it had some crazy bow. It's just random weird squiggly piece of scrap I had laying around. I just bent it in the middle, drilled the holes, tweaked it with a pair of pliers until it lined up with both, and painted it. That's it. It's all an air filter bracket needs to be. So, yep, that's one more thing off the checklist. Okay, now that it's dark, I could show you. Oh, I left him off. Hold on. All the lights lit up. Yeah, those plate lights are almost brighter than my tail lights. This is a big one for me. I have not had working dash lights in a long time, and apparently they're multicolored LEDs, which is cool, I guess. Yeah, why not? But I have not gotten my other gauges in. Because I'm still waiting on this guy. This is my wire. Got it tucked up under there if you can see it. Nighttime is really hard to show you guys this, but yeah, it's my O2 sensor for the wideband. Wires here. It's gonna go through the firewall. There's a plate that goes right there. This plate right here, and this plate bolts the firewall. I just cut a hole for a grommet right there. Pulled this out of my box that came off the Frontier. Not sure what that's for, but just added this crimp line for the lines. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow though. It's cold and dark. So yeah, see you tomorrow. So guys, it's another day. And actually I've just been busting butt on the last 2 days, just trying to get this wiring done. There's that plate that ran through. I still need to get a T for my boost gauge. And then on the inside, this is where I've really been working. Yeah, interior's back together, gauges are on. I mean, it's not dark so you can't really tell, but all my lights work. And yeah, so the switches work. And yeah, it's back together. And I did leave the glove box out, because I did want to show you guys the final of this wiring. And yeah, so like I said, ECU relays back here. I got my fuse box, and then got power wire to these relays, which are actually, they're from a Polaris. I don't know, just a cheap pack that I had around for a while, but they're regular 4-pin relay. And so they were perfect to just tuck up there. So yeah, we got fogs forward, reverse for my pod lights, and obviously this harness goes all the way under. So yeah, that's my wiring. And again, glove box level is right there, so you basically won't see much of it, or any of it, unless your head is down on the base of the seat. So yeah, I got all that stuff done. I just got to throw the glove box in, vacuum out this side, throw my floor mat in, and interior and wiring's done. Hallelujah. I know when I pulled this dash out, it's like, uh-oh, what have I done? And yeah, I've got a few leftover screws, things that either the plastic clip just broke because it's an old truck, or the plastic tab where it holds down just broke, or I don't know, had mismatched hardware and I found the matching hardware, or things I just missed. But regardless, it's an old truck, it's not going anywhere. I mean, there's actually not even any rattles, surprisingly. The most rattles I get is from that guy right there, which is just internal, just part of the gauge. So yeah, there's some completed interior, completed lights. I know the white zip ties are a bit tacky. I just didn't have any black, so I will swap those out when I go to the store and get some. Plus, these are 8-inch and they barely fit, so I'll have to get some 10-inch ones. And it's not really dark. I'll show you a clip with everything powered on once it gets nighttime, and yeah, they're pretty bright for cheap eBay units. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to have the wiring done on this truck. And there's a few little issues I'll have to go back in and fix later, but I mean, nothing too major. So awesome. And I'll wait till dark and show you those pod lights. So now that it's dark, I can finally show you guys. All the interior lights. And then which one is it? There we go. And then the back lights. Oh yeah. They're hard to look at. Yeah, they're bright. I can't look at them. So, all right. Let's turn those off, not kill my battery. And I did also throw my glove box in. Can't really see with my crappy light, but yeah. Anyways, got that in, got the carpet in, vacuumed. So interior's done with this grainy shot. That's gonna be it for this week. Thanks for tuning in, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. Have a good one, YouTube. See you next time.